No, Sarah, this is not the same girl. Okay? Totally different. Good morning, everybody. I come to you casual today. I hope you don't mind. It is Saturday. I have an awful lot of things that I want to convey. Uh, in a few moments, I'm going to get this gal that I spoke to yesterday for an hour and a half telling me her story, okay, of how she escaped Diddy. She was invited to one of his white parties in a certain state, so forth, so on. You're going to hear directly from her. Good morning, Nancy. I'm glad you came. Okay? I'm also going to be talking, all right, about United States taking over a country, Venezuela. All right? We are now running it. All right? So, folks, all right, get your coffee because you're going to want to hear this here. Please subscribe, like, and share. You know, I really look better when I come to you, okay, dressed up. But it's Saturday, okay? All right? Hi, Charcuterie. Okay, did I say it right? All right, Kim Walter. All right, you got your coffee? Great. Folks, first of all, I'd like you all to know, people trust me. Number one, I'm not a rat, okay? But people trust me with a lot of information. I personally have spoken. They have contacted me, some of Diddy's good friends. I cannot tell you who they are, but there are a lot of stories. There's a lot of misinformation that other YouTubers are putting out there about Diddy. I checked it out. I verified it. Folks, you got to remember something. New York City was my city. Los Angeles is the town that I live in. But I maintained an apartment in New York right up until the day that I was arrested in 2008. I could walk the streets any place in the country, and I have respect. I built 81, it took me 81 years to build that respect. So people trust me. So when you see me go after sometime one of these other YouTubers, you all know who they are. They embellish, they lie, make up story. They're on all day long, okay, and talking about the civil lawsuit and all that there. And I'll get into that, okay, at another time. All right? So, folks, all right, hang on. I'm going to get this lady. She's going to be on my phone, all right? And just hang on a minute. Because I can't tell this story like she told it, okay?
Hello.
Well, good morning, honey. How are you?
Hi. Good morning. How are you?
Great. Every day I wake up is a great day.
It's a blessed day.
Yeah. Listen, I'm over here. I got a lot of people in my room over here. I call it a room. All right. All my friends on YouTube. Okay. I just tell them about the story, and I cannot tell this story of how you escaped Diddy. Okay.
Most definitely is.
All right, folks. So here she is. I'm not going to give her name or the city she's talking from. I could just say this: it's a city in the south. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please tell
One
these
of the biggest.
people.
I'm so grateful that you even took the time out on today to give me a courtesy call just to know that I still exist. What God has for you, nobody can stop that. I want to go back to 2003 because I'm older, way older now. So back then I did not know what happened, and now I do. But I was invited to a club, and it was one of his clubs. Let's just say it was one of the celebrity clubs. Of course, he's known for throwing an all-black party. He's known for throwing one of the best all-white parties. So I was invited by a rapper girlfriend. And so I decided to go. Got all dressed up, but of course me, I'm not going to wear the colors that they wear. I'm going to wear something totally different. So I picked a lime Dolce & Gabbana dress to wear. And I knew the colors were either going to be off or black or white. But of course, you know me, I picked something different so I can kind of set aside or be set off. And got to the club, and we got in, and of course my girlfriend was like, hey, I'm going to run upstairs, and this very, very known rapper that she was dating back in 2003. So we were invited through him, basically. So he wanted us there. He said, it's a big Diddy party. We want y'all to come, you and your girlfriend, bring her. So I would usually go everywhere with her and go to really nice functions. And, of course, we got there, walked in. She went straight upstairs. I kind of lingered at the bottom of the bar in the club area. And I looked and said, oh, wow, it's a lot of people here. And they were dressed so nice. It was so many bodyguards, just a lot of people. And I was so excited just to be in the atmosphere because you really wouldn't know unless you hung with somebody that was known. And then you really, really felt special. You have to understand, back then, I probably was 23, maybe 23, 24 at the time. And got there, hanging out, just enjoying ourselves. I'm walking around, meeting people, speaking, and all of a sudden my arm gets pulled. And I kind of turn around, and it's Diddy. And he's like, you come here, I want you in the VIP. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, my God, he just probably pulling pretty girls. So I'm going. Oh, yeah, I was real cute, of course. So I wanted to go, and I said, I'll just, sit down and be cute. He sat down right next to me, and he's like, how you doing? I'm so glad you came out. Basically small talk, and just to make me feel comfortable. And, he let me know he appreciated me even coming out to the party. So already I'm feeling special at that time. And then he says, here, let me get you something to drink. But he don't get up and pour it. He looks at one of the bodyguards, and they pass it to him. And when he passes it to me, it's a champagne glass, real skinny glass, real cute, crystal, and it's bubbling, it's pink. So I'm thinking, okay, this is a rosé. I'm just thinking, what bubbly pink drink is this? Whatever it is, it's got to be expensive, and it's got to be nice, or some type of champagne. So I was excited, and so I grabbed, the glass as he passed it to me, and I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to be cute because I'm really not understanding. Oh my God! And I'm looking across, and across from me was some Houston rappers that face looked very, very familiar, and they're big time known down in Houston too. So I'm like, oh my God, that's this person. That's this person. And I'm sitting there because I'm spotting a lot of celebrities, and they're from everywhere. And so I'm sitting down there, and I'm being cute. He passed me the drink, and he's kind of like talking, and I sip one sip, and then I kind of laugh, and then I sipped another sip. Because I'm like, okay, I'm real cute now, because I'm sitting here, now he's talking, and now we're just partying. That's what I'm thinking, partying, because understand I'm 23 years old. So you have to understand, to get pulled in a VIP by Diddy, that was a VIP moment. Because out of everybody that's in there, it was so many people, you thinking in your mind as a young girl, oh my God, I'm so special. Or I'm cute. Or, oh my God, this dress is something totally different. And they noticed that I didn't wear what they wore. I got on a Dolce & Gabbana dress, which was back in 2003, the top of the lines was Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, Fendi, Prada, all of those type of dresses. So to get noticed like that, I'm thinking, ooh, the dress must really said a lot. So I took my second sip, and I'm sitting there, and then I have the drink in my left hand. he grabs my right hand, and he kind of grabs it and squeezes it and says, "You going to party with Diddy?" And I say, "Oh, yeah, of course." Because I'm thinking, like, that's so nice of him to just pull me in and notice that I'm here. And then I go, "Yeah, I'm going to party with you." And he squeezed my hand with the middle finger going up the middle of the finger. And he say, "No, are you going to party with Diddy all night?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." Because me, at that young age, I'm thinking the club closes at 1 or the club closes at 2, and all night, that's what it is. Now, you have to understand, I grew up in church. I grew up not doing no drinking, no wearing lipsticks, no wearing makeup, no wearing pants. So I kind of grew up real strict. And then I went off to college, which was the same thing. So as far as me going to a party and you saying you're going to party with me all night long, I'm like, "Yeah, of course, sure." Sitting there at the time, and he's talking, and he's like, he squares my hand. He goes, "No, you're going to," he's very aggressive, "You're going to party with Diddy all night." That's what he told me. So I was like, okay. Because I'm like, he a little firm. He's kind of aggressive. And at the time he said that, I said fine. And then I started to sit there, and he was just talking, but his words started to go like, wonk, 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 wonk. Like, I just couldn't grasp. And then I started to feel a little woozy, a little dizzy. Then I was like, oh, my God, I don't want to, I'm thinking, was I supposed to eat, or did I not eat, or am I food poisoned, or did somebody, because sometimes the drinks, they make you sick also, if they mix a lot of stuff. And so I'm thinking like, oh, my God, I don't want to sit up here and throw up on this man. And so he's just talking, and he's just, laughing and kicking, and I'm sitting back looking at the other rappers and record label owners, and I'm just sitting there looking at them. And then I started to get a little dizzy, and then I felt like, oh, my God, I'm going to throw up. So I tell him, and I lean over to his eyes and say, excuse me. I said, I'm going to run to the bar real quick. Now, understand, I had no reason to run to the bar because he had already passed me a drink. But I had to find some type of excuse. And he's like, where are you going? I said, I'm going to run to the bar and see if my girlfriend is there. That way, me and my girlfriend both can come back, and then we could party with you. Now, understand, once again, when I say girlfriend, that is my friend. That is one of my best friends. She's already dating a rapper. She invited me to come to the party. So when I say girlfriend, it is not a girlfriend now, today girlfriend. It's a friend. She's a girl. We're going to hang out. We're going to go shop. We're going to go eat together. That is it. And I said, let me go get my girlfriend, and then we'll come back. He grabs my hand, and he goes, you come right back. And he emphasizes and squeezes my arm and say, you come right back. And I was like, oh, sure, no problem, no problem. So I already knew I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling a little dizzy. I'm kind of scared because he was real aggressive when he said, you're going to party with Diddy all night long. Because he first started it out, were you going to party with Diddy? I said, yes. Then he goes, you're going to party with Diddy all night. And I'm like, ugh. So I kind of feel a little weird right there. So I get up. He finally tells me, oh, okay, well, you come right back. So that was another command. So not only are you going to party with Diddy all night, you're going to come right back after you go to the bar. So I get to the bar. I start looking around. I'm starting to feel like I'm going to throw up on somebody. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, it's really nice, Dolce & Gabbana dress on. I don't want to throw up. I'm thinking to myself, hey, you are that girl. You are supposed to be it. You are here. You are cute at this moment. And you do not want to mess it up. I got to the bar, and I looked at the bartender. He came. He said, hey, how can I help you? I said, hey, I need to get out of here. He was like, well, just go out the front door. I said, no. I need to get out of the club. I can't go out the front door because there are people in the VIP section that I'm trying to avoid. And he was like, well, you know, if you go out that back door, it's, you know, homeless people, it's bottles, it's everything back there, and, like, nobody even goes out that way. I said, can you please direct me and just show me? I have to get out the club. I wouldn't tell him why I needed to get out the club. I told him I feel sick and I need to get out. I don't want to throw up. And so he walked a little halfway, and then he pointed to the door. I ran out that door, and of course my ankle almost twisted. It was bottles. It was so dirty. My dress had got filthy. Okay, I went from a princess to a pumpkin in less than probably 5 minutes. That quick. That's how quick it happened. I started to run from the back of the club, and then I finally got to my car. When I got to my car, I was out of breath. I was sweating, and I was just exhausted, and I felt dizzy, nauseous. I got in the car. The first phone call I made was to a cousin of mine. And I said, hey, I don't feel good. I feel sick. I feel dizzy. I need you to meet me. Where are you? She said, I'm at this other club, but I'll stand outside and wait on you because you only 10 minutes from this club. And this is where I'm hanging out at. I say, I'm on my way. She said, are you sure? Because if you can't drive, I'll come meet you. I say, no. I got it. I just feel like I'm going to throw up. I say, I don't know what's going on, you know, food poison, or maybe the liquor is old. I try to come up with every excuse or diagnosis for myself to be okay. Because in the same time, I'm telling myself what's going on, because I didn't know. And so I finally got to where she was, which was 10 minutes from the original party, the celebrity party. I left there in a rage, like speeding, trying to get there because I didn't know if I was going to throw up, get dizzy, black, nothing. I didn't know anything. All I know is I felt like I had been food poisoned. My stomach started to feel like I was going to throw up. I was dizzy. I started sweating, and I just didn't know what to do. So I finally just parked the car. I sped into the parking lot. I parked the car. I jumped out the car, and I saw her at the club door, at the door of the club where you got to make your entry in. She waved at me, and she's like, hey, I'm here. As soon as she waved, I took 1, maybe 2 steps, and after that, I collapsed. When I collapsed, there was nothing I could absolutely do. I could not move my arms, my legs. I could not move anything on me. The only thing that could move was my eyes. And so I literally couldn't speak. And the guys, all of a sudden, I know it's like maybe 5 to 10 guys run up and try to lift me off the ground, because at that point I have become paralyzed. I can't speak. I can't move. I collapsed, which means I fell straight out, because I was literally, my last moments of memory was me waving at her and saying, I'm coming. And I took 2 steps, and that was it. I remember the guys picking me up. They was touching on me, which probably guys do anyway. If you fall out, they're going to pick you up, but then they're going to try to get the little free feel in. And they brought me to the car, and she said, I'm going to take you to the hospital. You have to understand, with me growing up as a Christian, number 1, we ain't supposed to drink. Number 2, we don't really club. Number 3, we don't really wear nice kind of see-through semi dresses and things like that, because it's just it's a standard. Let me say that it's a standard. And so when they laid me straight in the car, she said, oh my God, what's wrong? What's going on? I couldn't speak. She said, I'm going to take you to the hospital. I said, because I still could not move my mouth. And she said, no. I said, She said, I'm going to take you to your mom's house, and I'm going to tell your mom that you got food poisoning. Or did you drink? What happened? And I said, I couldn't talk. There's nothing that I could say. I couldn't move. I laid in the front seat of her car like a zombie. I left my vehicle there, which my vehicle ended up staying there for 3 to 4 days. So after I collapsed, I got picked up. She said she was taking me to the hospital. I said, which was no, don't take me there, because I didn't want my mother to be alarmed. When your mother's a Christian, there's just certain stuff you just don't do. I did it anyway. So I was being a prodigal daughter at that time. Out of 5 girls, I'm the only one who wants to go out and hang out and party. But we get to the house. She picks me up out the car. And I'm a little bit heavy, but I'm not heavy. So I'm like maybe at that time 125, 130 pounds. Slim, built, cute face, dressed cute, and long hair. And she picked me up, and I literally tilted over because I couldn't move. And so by her picking me up with me just staying straight because I was basically paralyzed, she flipped over in the grass. When she flipped over, I hit the ground. When I hit the ground, I began to start throwing up. So I started puking. After I started puking, I started sweating again. She brought me, she knocked on the door, and my mom came. My mom said, hey. She said, she got food poisoning and she's sick. Her stomach is hurting, and now she's sweating. And so my mom said, okay, well, lay her in the back room. I'm going to get a towel and put it on her head or whatever and make sure she's okay. And, maybe get her some soup or something, because I could hear everything. I just could not respond. Every sense of movement was gone. My speech was gone. I was sweating. I was nauseous. I was dizzy, and I had just threw up. She laid me in the bed. That is the last thing that I remember. I knew for a fact I had went to the party, but I just didn't know what happened at the party. And it was 20, almost 30 years later, and I watched the trial, and I remember me going to the party, and I remember me sitting there and him squeezing my hand. Everything started to become back. My memory started to come back because I had skipped that chapter and part of my life. I closed it out because I could not solve it. And so I started getting all these certifications and getting so many accolades on trying to get in this department and be a part of this. As far as like maybe if you be the police department, maybe if you do private investigator, maybe if you do this, you can help yourself and solve your case. And I could not solve my case. And so my mother came to me after watching part of the Diddy trial. She said, I just want to thank God. And it surprised me out of clear blue. She looked at me and she said, I just want to thank God that you're okay. And she said, because you remember that incident kind of happened to you. She said, when after it happened, it was days later. I said, Mama, I was with Diddy. And I was at a party, and she, when you're talking to someone like that, they don't want to, older people, they don't want to participate in those type of conversations, and they're very secluded, and they'll cut you off and just start talking about something else, and that's what she did for years and years and years. She never would talk about the incident with me. And finally, last year, she said, I just want to let you know I thank God that you're still here. And I said, yeah. She said, well, you did go out and you told me, and you used to tell me all the time, Mom, something happened to me at Diddy's party. She said, I never will let you tell me your story. She said, but now I'm looking at the news and I see what happened to you. She said, you don't even know. She said, but you collapsed and you were out 3 days, 3 to 4 days. She said, I had to bathe you and I had to feed you. And it just broke me. It broke me because I could not save myself. And how it probably was supposed to go is that when they passed me that drink, I got a little sick, and they probably said, take her upstairs to the room, because we were in the hotel. The parties were downstairs, and it was clubs, and the hotels are always surrounded by those type of parties. But I was the girl that got away. And I thank God today, every day for my life. I did not know that I collapsed, and I was not able to talk, move, or nothing for 3 to 4 days because I had become in a paralyzed state. And the only thing that I could move was my eyes. And she said she had to feed me with a spoon. She had to bathe me. She said all I did was sleep for 3 to 4 days. And so basically I was in a comatose state. But I can honestly say a lot of people, and not just myself, a lot of people don't know, and people always get mad and say, well, why didn't you say something back then? Or why are you talking now? Well, look, people, the reason that we're talking now is because we're now just becoming aware of it. And mine was 30-something years ago when this happened to me. And I just realized what happened to me. So don't be so quick to judge people, and don't think that every story is fake or is false. I'm trying to do a money grab. You never ever once saw me go to the public or go to an attorney or go try to hire one, which I could have. But because my life has moved on, I decided to leave that where exactly it happened at. And that was a place in my life called nowhere, because I got nowhere. All of the flashy clothes, the good-looking cars, the nice people that's supposed to be nice to you and so into your life because they've made it. That is what everybody's dream is, because I know people have talents out there. People are blessed with certain things, but sometimes your blessing is not going to come from another individual, because that individual might not want to bless you. They may just want to keep you down and make you a servant of theirs. They are also slaves. A person will give you a certain amount of money, and they'll only feed you just enough to keep you full at that moment. Then you got to keep coming back. I was blessed. I was the girl that got away. I will be writing a book coming soon this year, for a fact. I won't name names because I don't have to, but when I tell my story, you'll know exactly who it is. Mr. Ori, I can't thank you enough for allowing me to openly express my story, to allow me to be living and breathing and being able to tell these stories, because there are still young girls out there and they're beautiful and they want to dress up and they just want someone to see them. No, I wasn't craving for attention because I already had knew who I was. All I wanted to do was walk in, glance, be pretty, and walk out. That's it. That was it for me.
Well,
I did not want to
you
be
were
anybody.
young,
I
excuse
love
me.
enjoying other people, but that was my story. That is my story, and then they'll know to expose my story when it comes out.
You know, I want to thank you so much for coming here today and telling my friends here on YouTube. We have a lot of people here this morning, and it's a true, honest story. Okay, she was a young girl at the time. She was a singer. Came from the church, a lot of gospel singing. Like we know some of the best came from gospels, all right? Like Whitney Houston, to name one, okay? And of course, going to a party, a Diddy party, was something that anybody wanted to go. And you've heard a million stories of that. But this lady got away. Thank you so much for coming. I'll call you later, honey, okay?
I love you, Miss Dory. Thank you. All respect to you, King. The
Take
boss,
care. Bye-bye.
Dory. Bye-bye.
So, folks, when I tell you something, I tell you the truth, okay? Now, you've seen a lot of trolls in here today. Those trolls don't know Diddy. Diddy don't know those people, okay? They're people that want to be a Diddy. We call them wannabes in a gangster world. They're not gangsters. They're not tough guys. They think they're tough because they got a phone and they know how to click. Folks, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. What are you waiting for? Because I got so many stories. I got so many other people I could bring on. I could bring in some of Diddy's best friends who will dispute stories you're hearing from other YouTubers. I'm not going to mention their names because you know who they are. I don't like people who lie. I don't like people who make up stories. And now it's all of a sudden they got devastating. Another lawsuit. Diddy's going to have more civil lawsuits. But what people don't know, one of the biggest ones taking place right here in Beverly Hills. January 26th is another hearing. This kid is like my son, okay? He's one of my son's best friends. He was on the HBO show that everybody forgot about after the Netflix show. Yeah, so check it out. So you think I don't know because I'm an old man? Let me tell you, folks, for those people who come here and think they're tough guys, you better wake up real early in the morning, eat a lot of potatoes if you think you're going to outwit this old man. Not going to happen. Okay? Folks, I got phone. I pick up the phone. I call people, New York, New Jersey, wherever I have to. Okay? Wherever. And people pick up the phone for me. I say, I need this. Do you know anything about this? Ori, I know this person. I'll connect you. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? Hey, Kane from England. We got people. Thank you so much. We got a lot of people coming here today. So, folks, please subscribe, like, share. There's a hype button. If you find it, please do that. Thank you, applesauce. Okay? You know, folks, we wake up in the morning, we never know what's going to happen. Wake up in the morning, and a lot of things happened last night to Venezuela. Now Madero and his wife, they're on a ship, or what do you call it? A Navy ship, heading for New York. They're going to be indicted. I'm going to imagine they're going to do it in the Southern District, okay? And they will be held at MDC. Can you imagine what's happening there? How we, overnight, took over a country. Now, the United States is running the country of Venezuela. Now, I gotta admit, Donald Trump and his administration gave Maduro a lot of chances to change things, but he didn't. And then he was like these trolls. He got ballsy, all right? And he said, come and get me. Well, that's what they did last night. So it was a dictatorship of a country. Kim, I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know what's happening. All right? All right? Of course, you're going to have the liberals come out and say this was wrong and that and so forth. Okay? So there's going to be crying on the other side. Okay? But, you know, this is not the first country that we have done this. I remember when it happened to Panama, several other countries, 5 or 6 of them. All right? Thank you for calling me handsome there. I appreciate that there. All right, Catherine Marie Hall, how are you? Thank you, Nancy Lyon, my friend Nancy Lyon. Folks, give her a hand. Okay, Nancy Lyon is an awesome, awesome lady that I got to know. You know, I get to know a lot of you people, and, you know, it's an honor to be here, for you two to give me the opportunity to be able to come out and give you truthful facts. Now, I'll talk to you, okay, a little bit. I want you to leave me a comment. Do you think it was right that we took over Venezuela, or do you think it was wrong? Okay? I would like to know that there. And to talk to you folks about, you've heard me say it a lot of times. I don't hate anybody. And the reason I do, I don't want to carry no hate. I want to be positive. I want to be happy. I don't know how much longer I have on this earth. And none of you know how much longer you have. Okay? But we got to make every day a blessed day. Be happy. And make others happy. All right? Yeah, the people in Venezuela. So, folks, when I say it, let's be happy. Okay, so I think it's a good thing. The people in Venezuela, they're great people over there. And, you know, what other countries? Okay? Trump is really seriously going after these countries that are bringing drugs here. Is he going to be doing more in Mexico? That's the question. All right? That's where the majority of the drugs come in from, is Mexico. They haven't stopped that. Just because they closed down the border, don't think he stopped that. Colombia. Yes, Tito. Thank you for that. Yeah. Okay. He wants the oil. You got that right, buddy. All right. And there's a lot of other minerals that are very valuable. Okay. And you're right. Who said that about the oil? That's the first thing that they did. Yeah. All right. He's not messing around with that one. But he's not doing too well over there with the Russia-Ukraine war. All right? Putin is a different guy, a lot more powerful than Trump. And he's got the nuclear abilities. Okay? There's so many things that go into this. Yes, Marv, I'm a Marv Wayne. I am a veteran, served my country proudly from 1963 to 1966. No, we don't want to go to war with Russia. Yep. So, you know the liberals are going to come out and this and that and boom, all that crazy stuff. All right? I'm sick and tired of the hatred, all right, of these people going after each other, but not doing anything for the people. We're the ones that pay the taxes, all right? Good men do bad, yeah. Ruthful Thurston. Anybody with that name is a moron. All right? Primo, I'm doing great, buddy. I'm doing great. So, folks, we got another country. They're already talking to a lady that might be taking over there, okay, in Venezuela. They're doing good. They kept it quiet. They keep their mouths shut, and that's how you do things, okay? He couldn't announce this to tell anybody. So, folks, you heard it here. Stories with Ori. You heard that lady on the phone. You heard all those other people. Does the story sound familiar? A drink? How much Diddy commands? demands. Oh, what about that girl? I think her name was Aubrey. Okay, who was on the Netflix thing that 50 Cent did? She was told by others what happened to her because she didn't remember, because she drank. She did. She didn't know. B, we got a lot of people from the UK, all my mates over there. All right? So, folks, I want to thank you all for coming. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. All my love and respect to you all. Thank you so much. Okay? I might be having a personal friend of Diddy's that nobody has spoken about or nobody knows coming to my show soon. So stay tuned. God bless you all. Take care.